Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I want to share with you how I make my thumbnails. So I get a lot of questions about how I put certain pictures on the screen, how I add things, and in fact this is the app that I use to add stuff within the video itself. So not only is it great to make thumbnails, it's great to make posters, it's great to make different things on your videos itself. The app is called Canva, and I'm going to go through how I actually make the thumbnails, and I hope that you guys like this video. If you do, be sure to leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, it really helps with my channel, and be sure to hit that bell notification so that you get a notification every time I post a new video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my actual computer itself. Now this video that I'm going to show you the thumbnail has already come out. I've already posted it, but I did record the screen when I was doing the thumbnail, so I wanted to have that so that I can show you guys how I actually do the full process. It doesn't take very long. Once you realize the type of things that you want to include, then you can just kind of get them done pretty quickly. Now, a couple of tips that I do have is that you want to make sure that your thumbnails are recognizable to you. So you want to make sure that you have a key like something that makes them all the same. Now you don't have to do this, but I think it's a great idea for branding. If somebody's looking at a whole bunch of thumbnails on their YouTube feed, they can absolutely, when they're scrolling through it, recognize mine because I always tend to have similar colors, I tend to have similar fonts, and all those type of things. So it's very important to do that, and it really helps with branding, and it helps with people recognizing your content. So that is just one of the quick tips that I'm going to give you right now, and then we're gonna switch over to the screen so you can see how I get the thumbnail done. Alright guys, welcome to this quick tutorial on how I make my thumbnail. The first thing that I want to do is I need to have the pictures for the thumbnail. So I usually don't go and take a whole bunch of pictures outside of whatever my video entails. I usually just go through my video and find a moment where I think it would be a good photo, and then I just pause the video, take a screenshot of it. I use a MacBook Pro. In order to take a screenshot with the MacBook Pro, all you have to do is simultaneously press Ctrl-Shift-4, and then it'll allow you to take the picture, and the picture is automatically saved to your desktop. So that's how I do that. Now in this video for this thumbnail, I already have done a couple of screenshots, and I just wanted to give you guys an example of how to do one. So moving on, we're going to go and log into the app, and because I'm on my computer, I'm going to just go to Safari and go to canva.com, and here you will see I have all of the thumbnails that I already have done previously. Now if you want to make a thumbnail for YouTube, it has a specific measurement, so you want to do 1920 times 1080, and that is the size for YouTube. If you do a different size, then it makes it a little bit awkward looking, and it kind of distorts the image. So you want to make sure that you do that. Now here I am going into my desktop, which is where I saved all of the screenshots that I had taken earlier. I go to the upload menu on the left hand side, and then I go and I find those photos. So now they're uploading. I have this part a little bit sped up. It takes a little bit of time, but no problem. During the meantime, I want to make sure that I start on the thumbnail process. So this is really where the fun part begins, where you get to design and like create the type of colors that you want. I usually use this color here that you will see that's kind of like a mint color for my backdrops, and I'm sure if you've seen any of my videos you will recognize it. And then the other thing that's really cool is there's this text tab, and here you have a whole bunch of different options for already formatted text, but I like to just add my regular text at the top where it says add heading, the biggest one, and then I like to just type in what I'm going to type as the title and go ahead and just change it there. This little spacing option is really cool because it allows me to change the height between the letters, and I really like to do that because I feel that it's always so separated, and it's just not a good way to put a lot of words on the screen. If they're so separated, it takes a lot of space. Then I go back to my uploads here on the left hand side, and I click on all of the pictures that I have uploaded, and I just put them all on the screen, and then what I do is I resize them. So you could pull it from the corners, you resize it. If you double click, which I did right here, it allows you to crop. Then at the top you press the check mark and then it is the new size of that photo. So I just play with it, kind of arrange them as much as I would like. When I first started, I used to just have like 1 or 2 pictures. It just depends on the type of video that I did. But recently I've been liking, if it's an exercise video, to do a couple of views of different exercises, because I think that it can kind of show the viewer what we're looking at. What's really cool about this app too is that I had all the pictures that were just pulled into the front of the image. And if I just click on the text thing that I had there earlier, I can move that to the top of the image. And they have a lot of things to play with. Definitely, if you need to watch this video more than once, you can see. I do have it sped up because if not, it would take a really long time. But it has the options to change the color of the font, to change the font itself, to bring something to the front, to the surface, in order to be able to create a customized image for your videos or whatever post or ad you want to put out. One of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time is how do I add the social media icons, and what I do is I go to the Elements tab on this app and then I type in social media as you see here, and then I do the exact same thing that I did with the photos. I just click on all of the ones that I want to include, and then as soon as they're all on the screen, I go ahead and resize them by clicking on the sides of it, making them whatever size I want to make them. And here I am just aligning them all together. What's also really awesome about this app is that once you have them all kind of in the same size, you will see, I'm not sure if it's really noticeable right here, but it creates a guideline for you. So it's like a dotted line and it shows you whether they're in line or not, so you don't have a whole bunch of crooked looking icons. I love to use a filter on my photos. I like to do the one that has a blue tint to it. I just feel that it makes the photo really pop, so I always do that on all of mine. And as I mentioned before, I want to have something that is similar on all of my thumbnails because I want my thumbnails to be recognizable when they're, you know, next to a different one, so I always try to put the same filter on the photo so that it always looks similar. But of course, I love to be really creative. I like to do a lot of artistic things, so it's fun to just kind of play around with things as well. So they're not all exactly the same, they just have certain similar elements. And sometimes you can't really see the letters against that color and also that filter. So what I like to do is I like to add a backdrop triangle. So I go to Elements again, and then I click on Shapes, and then these are all free. You can see that there's a whole bunch of free ones. There are some to be paid in this app, within the app, but it's just so many options with the free stuff that I never really pay for anything, or not really. I have never actually paid for anything on this app, and I have done a lot of really cool different things. Not only thumbnails for YouTube, but also posts for Instagram and Facebook and all of that stuff. I click on one of the squares and it gives me a black rectangle, so I go ahead and resize it, and I'm trying to put it on top of the font. Then I go to the top right hand corner where it says copy, click on that twice, and then it creates the same rectangle on top of each other, and then I just move those into position, and then I want to change the transparency of the rectangles and also bring the font to the front so that the rectangles are behind the font and you can see what the words say. So what I'm going to do in order to do that is I'm going to go to the top right hand corner and click on the transparency icon, which is the square that kind of fades, and then I just go to whatever number I want, and then I click on the arrange right next to that and I bring the font to the front or the rectangles to the back, depending on whatever I have clicked on, whatever is selected. As soon as I'm done with the photo and I feel like everything is where it should be, then I'm going to download it onto my computer. Automatically it wants to put this image as a PNG, but what you want to do is you want to change it to JPEG because you want it to be a photograph, and that way it will load onto YouTube easier and it will take less time. And that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one.